This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're in Berlin here for Smith versus Abraham. Well, it's fight day now. With me, I've got the one and only Ricky Hatton. Hello, Ricky.
Hello.
Ricky, obviously the boxing world went crazy last night. It was the announcement of Mayweather Pacquiao, May 2nd, Las Vegas. Kind of been expecting it for the last couple of weeks as the talks have been going on. But first of all, are you surprised that the fight has finally been made?
No, I think it's a fight that needed to be made. The reason why we all went into boxing is to try and become the best. Them two are without doubt the best, two of the best that boxing's ever had. And they didn't want to fight each other for whatever reason. But the whole reason you went into boxing is to try and become the best. Fine. I think it should have happened a few years ago, but it's on now. It's probably the biggest. This will go down with the Hagler Hearns and the Muhammad Ali Fraziers. It's that big. Yeah.
Obviously, you're probably the best person from here anyway. There's no one else available in Berlin for an interview, so that's why we come to you about Mayweather Pacquiao.
Thank you. Yeah, you're doing wonders for my confidence, you tosser.
Listen, you shared the ring with both of them. Not the best nights of your career by any stretch of the imagination, but the difference in fights, obviously, you fought both fighters at sort of arguably a peak time in their career. And how do you assess the two performances, though, as they head to fight each other on the 2nd of May?
Well, Manny beat me in 2 rounds, but when you fight as aggressive and reckless as I do, you can get beat in 2 rounds. But I actually had 11 rounds with Mayweather, so I had 11 rounds to experience just how good he actually was. So good defensively, just like different class. I don't know how good Manny is, obviously, because the fight was over before it started in many ways. But if you're asking me where to put my last pound, I think I'd put it on Mayweather, but only by the narrowest of margins. I always thought Mayweather would beat Pacquiao, but lately against Maidana, Mayweather's not quite looked the force. He was still, good, but signs that he might be slowing just a little bit. And since Pacquiao got beat by Marquez, he's starting to look a little bit better. And I've always said that the people that Mayweather fights, big punchers, Mayweather would eat them up every day of the way. The only person that's going to beat Mayweather is somebody with speed like him and movement. And Manny Pacquiao has certainly got the speed, he's certainly got the movement. So I was sort of like give it Mayweather just by this narrowest of margins, but I'm not as more. I said Mayweather all day long a few years back. Now I still go for Mayweather, but not by much.
The fight was losing its appeal and hype around the time where Pacquiao suffered them defeats to Timothy Bradley, which was very contentious, and also the stunning knockout by Marquez. So around about that time, this fight looked very way off, didn't it?
It's like when he had that the bad fight with Timothy Bradley, and then he got beat by Marquez. It's like you'd have thought, no chance, no got a chance. Fucking beat easy work for Floyd. But as since that, Marquez has got a little bit better. He's got better and better and better and better. Your first fight back after a knockout is always a tough one, and he's like got out of his system. He started looking better and better and better now. And Mayweather, even though he boxed Maidana's a hell of a fighter, but he's not quite looking the force he was a few years ago. He was untouchable a few years ago. Now Manny will look at that fight and go, you know what, I fancy my chances here now. That's it.
When you look through their attributes, their pros and cons as they're going, Mayweather obviously, you'd say defensively was the better fighter. Speed-wise, Mayweather is quick, but Pacquiao quicker.
Yeah, Pacquiao was quicker, I think. But if I was, not like Manny Pacquiao needs any advice. Freddie Roach is in his corner. But if I was in in Pacquiao's corner. I'd say, do the exact same tactics you did against Oscar De La Hoya, in out, fast speed movements. The shoulder roll style that Floyd has got traditionally is better when people are coming at you. Like this dickhead here, so you can shoulder and stay low, everything like that. But the shoulder roll is not traditionally a style of boxing when you're trying to cut the ring down and hunt everyone. So everybody might go bam, bam, and he's gone, and Floyd won't get the chance to to shoulder and But that, I think the only time Floyd has looked, I think the worst performance of Floyd's career was when he boxed Zab Judah, who was someone who ran away from him. You know what I mean? Alvarez and Ricky Hatton and all these Miguel Cotto and all these people that fly at him. He loves that. But when you got someone who's got speed and movement and everything like that, I think that's the style to beat him. And Manny's got that, hasn't he?
Your two defeats of those two fighters, did it come down to them being just better than you, or was it the Pacquiao?
You fucking beat me, you dick.
No, I know that. All right, calm down, Ricky. Okay, calm down. I was there with you, man. No, but what I mean is that the Floyd fight and the Pacquiao fight for you was different, because we knew you had not the greatest of camps in the leading up to the Pacquiao fight, which might have had some contribution to what happened in the ring.
He was there, every step of the way, and I don't want to, make excuses, but I was trained that hard. By the time I got in the ring, I didn't have a fight left in me, so it's very hard, and when he knocked me out in 2 rounds, it's very hard to gauge, what it was. But one thing I can gauge is that I did 11 rounds with Mayweather, and he was brilliant. He was absolutely fantastic. So that's why I'll obviously lean towards Mayweather, because he was so good defensively. It's when you sat in the change rooms and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, he was good. So good defense. I couldn't have hit him with an handful of confetti. Just so good defensively. Manny, I didn't have the best training camp. I went in there aggressive and he knocked me out. But his performances and his talent speaks for itself. What he did against De La Hoya, and he picked him off, boxed at him. So I'd put my money on Floyd, but not by much.
Did you see anything in Floyd's last two performances against Maidana that suggests that there are signs of aging and him slowing up?
100%. It's like it sounds a little bit hard to be critical. He's set himself such high standards, with his fight, his fights against Alvarez and what he did to me and people like that. So, and then Maidana is a hell of a fighter, but we've been expecting this invincibility of Floyd. He's just been so good against everybody else. So then when you see him not quite as good, look at Amir Khan's fight against Maidana. Amir Khan outboxed him. Tough fight, got shook up, but knocked him down and everything. When you look at Floyd's that invincibility, I think has gone a little bit, and that will not only fill Manny full of confidence, anybody who fights him now. He's like, we've gone from thinking, he's untouchable, to thinking, I might have a chance now.
Is this fight mainly about the money, or is it about the legacy for these two fighters?
Well, it should be about the legacy. I think it's probably about the money, because that's why it's took so long to make the thing. Let's have it right. That's why you went into boxing in the first place. It's obviously to earn a living for yourself and make money. When I understand that the negotiations, you got to try them. But at the end of the day, you think, well, listen, I'm pound for pound number one. You've been pound for pound number one. Let's just split it 50-50. And Jesus Christ. What are they getting? 160 million. Jesus Christ. Just makes you want to have a wank, doesn't it?
If I could say to you now, not now because you're a little bit heavier than when you was at 140, just a bit. If I could say to you now, in your career, you can go back and try and put back one of those performances, which one would you rather have put back, the Mayweather or the Pacquiao?
I'd have had Howard Webb instead of Joe Cortez when I fought Mayweather. Because but when I fought, I can't argue. I mean, I wouldn't change anything about my career, and I'm not saying I'd have beat Manny, and I'm not saying I'd have beat Floyd. I just think, as you know, you were there. My training camp wasn't the best, and when Manny beat me, I don't think I was at my best. And I think the referee didn't help my chances. When I boxed him. So we can all, hindsight's a great thing. We can, do this with that. I'm very proud to say I shared the ring with two of the greatest fighters of all time. And it's like, I couldn't understand why they didn't get it on. Why it took so long to get it on. Because I fought them both and they didn't want to fight each other. I don't get it, but finally, it's on, and I can't wait. I said my hotel and flight was booked, weeks ago. I mean, whether I was a world champion or not, I'd always be a boxing fan, and it's going to be one of the biggest fights in history. And I'm very proud to say, that'll be there, and it'd be nice to go to Las Vegas for the change without getting me fucking teeth smashed in.
Someone who this kind of leaves, not in the wilderness because he'll go and chase another big fight, but Amir Khan was kind of waiting on this situation as well. He was an opponent for Floyd that was heavily mentioned.
I feel sorry for Amir, and the one thing about Amir's performances lately is he's boxing so mature lately, and you've got to put that down to his new coach that is with, because Amir would always use his skill, use his boxing ability for 2 or 3 rounds, and then he couldn't help himself. He'd like to get in the wall, but now he's boxing more, more maturely. You know what I mean? He don't, boxed Louis Calazo, didn't stand still for a minute. Boxed Devin Alexander, didn't. But in fairness, it's the worst thing he could have probably done, because I think, I'm not saying Mayweather is running scared of Amir, but he needs him. He needs Amir's style, like a hole in the water. Imagine, I think Amir's faster than Floyd. And imagine, Floyd trying to do the shot and Amir going, gone. I just think, but I think Floyd will fight Manny. I think he'll beat him. He'll go to 49-0, and then he needs one more fight to beat Rocky Marciano's record. And you know what? I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think he's going to take. I don't think he's going to take a chance and fight Amir. To risk that 50 and
I think this is his 48th fight. His 49th fight will be 48. I think is Manny.
Oh, right.
49 will be in September, and that's the end of his Showtime deal.
He might, he might have a, might have half a chance, but I just, styles make fights, and I think Floyd Mayweather needs Amir like an owner in there. I hope I'm wrong, because Amir has took a lot of stick over the years, and it's pissed me off a little bit, to be honest with you, because he got beat by Prescott, he come back. He got beat by Pedersen, he come back. He got beat by Garcia, he come back. And he's had all these people ridicule him for not having a chin and not having this and not having that. Isn't that what boxing's all about? Getting beat and coming back. And Amir's done it loads of times. So I said we should be backing him instead of jumping on his back, you know what I mean? And there's one thing that Amir is always in good fights. He's always in good fights. And, he deserves... I hope he gets the Floyd fight or the Manny fight, because he's paid his dues. He's took his licks and he's come back, and Amir's like me. We want to fight the best. I got the chance to fight the best, and I hope Amir gets the same chance.
What about the Khan Brook fight? Is that a fight that appeals to you?
Yeah, very much. Well, if Khan's at a stage of his career, I think if the Mayweather fight don't come off, or the Manny Pacquiao fight don't come off, who's Kell will be the next the next one. And when you think George Groves and Cal Frock got 80,000 people in Wembley, you're not telling me that Kell and Amir can't get 80,000 people in Wembley, 100%. And the thing is, it's Mayweather, Pacquiao. If not, then Kell's the next one for me, and that. It should happen.
We'll wait and see. We're in Berlin. Paul Smith's got it. A tough challenge tonight. He goes into his rematch with Arthur Abraham. Can he pull this off? Can he perform better than what he did in the first fight, Ricky?
It's one of them. A lot of people saying, well, Abraham took Paul lightly last time. This time, he'll be up for it. And that, yeah, there's every good chance that could be the case. But or he might be ready for the taking. He's had a lot of hard fights. He's been at world title level for such a long time. He's fought so many. He's been in so many big fights. It might be the right time to take him. But Joe Gallagher and Paul and us as British boxing fans, we've got to expect that Arthur Abraham was going to be better than last time. And Paul's going to want it more than Abraham. I think when you look at miles on the clock and gears, I think Paul's got less miles on the clock than Abraham. If anyone can raise that, I think Paul's got a better chance of raising it. So.
Another Brit also in world title action tonight. Martin Murray is in Monte Carlo to face Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. He's got a very hard task to rip his world title away from him.
Well, Golovkin, Jesus Christ, an animal. Imagine finding him in bed with your missus. You took him in, wouldn't you? But I think Martin will do the best. I think he'll do. Matthew Macklin, who is a friend of mine, he got beat by obviously Golovkin in big style. I think Martin has it in him to put in a better performance than anyone that has previously been in with Golovkin, and that's no disrespect to anyone else. I think Martin is very good defensively. He's very, very solid. But I think Golovkin will at some point. He's an animal. At some point I think he will get to him. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. And had wonderful happy days with Martin. And got him a couple of his world title fights. And I hope he goes over there and listen. Nobody's invincible. You know what I mean? And if Martin's watching, I wish him all the very very best. It's a tough ask. Doesn't need me to tell you, what a tougher task he's got. But I think Martin's fearless. He's gone to Argentina. He's gone to Germany. He's gone to all them. So that's fingers crossed for him.
All right. Is that a identity bracelet you got there?
Yeah, Ricky. So I don't forget my fucking name.
Ricky, yeah, and listen, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. It's a pleasure to talk to you as always.
Yep, wish I could say the fucking same to you, but yeah.
If you need me for any sorry, just checking that card. If you need me for any bodyguarding duties,
yeah.
I'm not available.
Yeah. You was my bodyguard against Pacquiao, wasn't you? Some good you did. I got twatted.
You come home alive. That was my job. All right, well, listen, let's hope we're victorious tonight in Berlin, and also best of luck to Martin Murray as well.
Fingers crossed. Good luck to you boys. Definitely.
All right, thanks for watching. This has been KUGAN CASSIUS with the one and only Ricky Hatton for IFL TV here in Berlin. Thank you very much.